Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to This Just In. Thank you for joining me today. In this video, I'm going to give you the best stocks to buy now for short-term swing trade setups. I'm also going to give you an update on some of our previous or current trades so you can kind of see where those are at. And then I'll also give you my thoughts on the current market. So let's jump right in. All right, guys, before we get started today, subscribe to the channel for me. Hit that little bell so you get notified every time I post. There's also a link down in the top pinned comment to my Patreon account. Come over and join the family. We've got an awesome community. You'll get access to all of the trade setups that I send out on a daily basis. You'll also get access to anytime I buy or sell a stock. You get the private Discord where we all talk, go over stocks, trade setups, education. I've also got a ton of books over there, graphs, things like that that you can use to become a much better investor. I really apologize for the delay in videos. As you can probably hear, my voice is gone. I've been sick and my mom also had a stroke. So I've been trying to deal with that and help her get through that. She did lose feeling on one half of her body, which was not very nice at all. So today, guys, I wanted to go over some of the best stocks to buy now for short-term swing trade setups. These are all going to be stocks based off of technicals that we identified on the chart that are looking good, showing and implying upside within the next few weeks or, next month or two. These are all going to be stocks that we're going to be in, out, tight stop losses, low risk and high reward. We always want to make sure before we take a trade, we've got at least a 3-to-1 risk reward. I'm also going to give you an update on some of our current trades that we are in or have hit targets on, just to kind of give you an idea where those are at. So let's get started. I've got about 4 on each side for you, so this video could get a little long-winded. But if you do want to get access to all of these trades, like I said, come join us at the Patreon. We do have a few more spots left down on that $10 tier. So let's get started. So the first one, we're going to go over an update on some of our current swing trade setups. This is LAC. If you guys remember, I did make a video about this. Gosh, it was probably a month and a half ago. Let's see, I sent it out right around, July, so it was like 2 months ago. But as you guys can see, very, very strong performing asset. This is Lithium Americas Corporation. You can see big bullish bat. We kind of had 2 inflection points. We had this level and this level. Both are historical. As you can see, this was back in 2020, and this level right here was from back in 2017. So we had the nice bullish bat pattern on the daily. We also had that momentum shifting structure, the complex inverse head and shoulders, which was very nice. You want to see that when you are at critical inflection points. Big drawdown, you get the momentum shift. You have the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. Honestly, this trade did kind of scare me a little bit. I thought we were going to get stopped out because we did end up breaking a demand line. But however, you can see it recovered, broke through that, $16.30 to $17 level, back tested it and just mooned. So we hit the second target. We are on our way to the third target. So I have all of my position off except for about 30%. So I took, the first 33% at my first target, second at the second target, obviously, and then I always leave the third part of my, position on, and I usually will set a trailing stop loss, or I will set a little bit of a loose stop right under the second target. Now, on those types of trades, I do watch them very closely just in case they start to get a little squirrely. I can get in there, move my stop up, take the rest of my profit before it has a big significant drawdown. But you want to give these, a little bit of time to run because these are, aggressive targets. Going from $13 all the way up to $28 is not, a small task. So very nice performer. You can even see this, recently kind of a bull flag, whatever you want to call it, pennant, whatever. It has broken out, had a huge day the last couple of days, and you are almost to your third target. So very nice asset. Obviously, no room to buy right now. Way overextended. I wouldn't mess with this if you did not take it. But Lithium Americas was a great trade. Next one I want to go over with you guys is Digital Turbine. The ticker on this stock is APPS. This is one that I sent out back in September. Now this is one that I've also sent out many times before this as more of a long-term dollar cost average hold. It is in my dollar cost average portfolio, but I sent the trade setup out back in September, beginning of September, right as it was breaking the inflection point and testing the supply line that was manufactured back in March. Once we broke that supply line, you can see we broke it, couldn't quite hold, back tested it, and started doing very well. We ran up, broke this high from back here in January, and then back tested the 200-day moving average. As you can see, it was testing it as resistance all the way up until that day. Once that happened, took off, and it hit the first target of the trade setup back here in October, right at the beginning of October, and that was confluent with the high from the reciprocal ABCD pattern. Really nice structure. You could also kind of call it a bullish shark pattern. It probably went lower than the 113 or the 113% retrace. We can take a look here from this low to this high. Yeah, so we went down to the 1272, but nonetheless, very nice trade. Very simple trade, guys. You take it, it breaks the inflection point, you're bullish. Anything under $60, you're not bullish. You don't want anything to do with it. You set a stop loss right below that level. You set your first target up here at the top of the structure. Now this is a 2-to-1. We typically want a minimum of 3-to-1. So you would have had to set a really tight stop loss. This is a open stop loss. So as you can see, if I was to move this stop up here, put it about there, that is definitely a 3-to-1, and so that is no problem there. So just wanted to point that out. Your risk to reward is obviously going to be based off where your stop loss is set and where your target's at. I felt this was a very easy trade setup once you broke that, supply line right there around that, $64 mark. We actually got in a little bit lower than that. We got in right when it back tested the inflection point at like 58.59. So really nice setup. It's at $84.43 as of today, and headed to that second target up there at 95, and then the third target at 103. I absolutely think Digital Turbine will see the second and third target within the next coming months. I think this company is going to do very, very well. So like this company for the long term and the short term for trade setup opportunity. So next one we're going to take a look at, this is just an update on Alpha Omega Semiconductors. Really nice bullish Gartley. It's kind of been funny. A lot of the bullish Gartleys have been going down to the 886 versus the 786. Your C to D leg is typically supposed to stop at the 786 fib extension from this BC projection, which they have been getting violated and going to the 886, which is completely fine because as you can see, look left, we had the critical inflection point that was established clear back here in October 2016. So, big run up, comes back tests it, and it moons. Then it has the big extensive drawdown to the pattern completion zone, which is right there at that, inflection zone or critical area. And then really nice, back test it, had the complex inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, went up, made that bull flag, ran up, hit the first target and pulled back, kind of making a second little bull flag. I absolutely think this one can hit that C target and A target as well. Semiconductors is a industry that is going to do very, very well, especially with EVs. The chip shortage is starting to wane. I think these companies will absolutely kill it. So if you're not in this one, again, I wouldn't jump in any of these. We've got some trades that I'm going to go over with you that are not this far off of their pattern completion zones, but nonetheless, still a lot of room to run in this trade here. So nice trade setup there. Okay, so now let's get into the last one, which is Tesla. This is one that I sent out at $710, right as it was butting up against the manufactured high from back here in March of 2021. But you can see here, bullish shark pattern after the drawdown, 3 rising valleys, textbook classic accumulation pattern. Very, very nice, guys. I sent this out, told the patrons, do not ignore this because this is the structure that could take Tesla to all-time highs and beyond. I waited at least. I sent it out around 710. I think I sent it out right around here when it was back testing that 200-day moving average and then had that bullish engulfing candle. I waited until it broke the inflection point and back tested it, and then I got in right around this area. But as you can see, it is far off of that, about $817. I still think Tesla has a lot of ways to go up there at that 1272 fib extension at $1,000. Obviously, the main target is up there at the $882, which would be that initial all-time candle high close from back in January 2021. So really nice setup on Tesla. This is a very powerful asset, and I think it's going to have a lot more ways to go. So now let's get into the trade setups that we can actually take that are not off of their completion zones. Again, guys, if you want some of these trade setups, this is exactly the stuff that I send out in the Patreon. I send them out all the time. As soon as I identify them, I send them out, put them in front of you, set the targets up, my entry, my stop, everything like that. So first one we're going to take a look at. Now, this is Penn National Gaming. I really like this. I just had my brother take a position in this today. For the trade setup, I think it's got a lot of opportunity. They are actually currently in the process of acquiring Score Media, which is a Canadian online gambling company that has a pretty well-known app. I actually sent SCR or Score Gaming out at around $15, and it's almost $40 today. So that one has done very well also. But as you can see, bullish shark pattern, critical inflection point, you can see, and then it just kind of had multiple tests down here at that level. Now, this is called a potential reversal zone where these three lines are, and you typically want to wait for a terminal price bar, which is this big price bar right here that's going to test all three of those levels before taking an entry. That's kind of Scott Carney's thing. Then you want to wait for follow through price action. So you get the terminal price bar, you wait, you see that you have not really any bullish activity, so you wait, you test, you get confirmation, the bullish engulfing candle, and you enter. If you would have done that, you would have got in down here around $65, and you would have had that 86, and you now would be sitting at 75. So this is a very nice trade, guys. Look at this channel that it was in from all the way back at the COVID crash up until where it broke down out of it right here in May. So pretty much about a year that it stayed right around in that channel, kind of broke out a little bit back here in March. But as you can see, your first target, or your second target, excuse me, getting even back up in the channel, would be right around, $110, $120. So one thing I want to point out though, really nice here from the initial all-time high, kind of just testing that, giving extra confirmation that the asset is going to hold, and then, it could be off to the races. I think once you get up above this, $75 range, you back test it, you're going to do real similar stuff as you did here. Run up, hit that first target. You may have a little bit of a pullback, but I think you've confirmed this strong enough that you could see, from here to the second target like that. Once you hit that second target, you may get a little bit of a stall, but I think the third target will absolutely happen by the end of the year, if not the first part of 2022. So Penn National Gaming, very strong asset. I like this trade a lot. You can see we had double hidden bullish divergence on the daily, on the MACD, as well as the RSI, which is implying that the asset is going to continue to the upside. So we've got a long-term uptrend when you get that bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence, implying a continuation. So you can see making higher highs, higher lows, just kind of consolidating right here at that level. So very nice stuff. The RSI is currently sitting at 51, just broke that neutral zone. You just built your first bar of positive momentum on the histogram on the daily. If you take a look at the weekly, your positive momentum is still building. If you go to the 3-day, starting to lose it a little bit, but your RSI is breaking up through that neutral zone at 50. Really strong asset, guys. I think this is one that you get in and you hold it and you maintain your position. And I think you wait, and you're patient enough, you will hit those targets. A lot of upside in this trade. Next one is FSLY. This is a bullish Gartley. Really nice, trade. I have talked about this one before in a few other videos, but you can see pretty much the whole lifetime of the asset is the structure. Bullish Gartley, like I said, you had the inflection point manufactured back here in August of 2019. Ran up to the high point. It hit an all-time high of like $140 back in October of 2020, and then has since been in a pretty significant drawdown. Now, one thing I wanted to point out, we hit that inflection point. We tested it as support. We got the reaction, and then we got the second low, which is that confirmation low. And guys, when earnings came out, it dumped, had a huge gap down, and look at this. Look where it stopped, guys. This was plotted way before this. So that's why you plot these inflection points. They're that important. So it had the big gap down, broke it, but happened to close right inside of it, which is very, very good. So you had the spring, the back test of spring. You just got that second low off of the, gap down for extra confirmation. And then you got the spring, back test of spring, and you are starting to move. Guys, this is early. We identified this back at the pattern completion zone, and it kind of, it made some moves for us, and then it kind of dumped. I thought it was over, but it is still doing very, very well. You can see bullish divergence, on both oscillators, implying a major reversal is in store. This is one you could get in. $44, ride it, first target 76, you're almost doubling your money right there. Second target 102, and third target at 122. This is a very beautiful trade. Do not ignore this. Third one is Turtle Beach. As you can see, really nice inverse head and shoulders, starting to break the neckline. You want to wait until you get follow through price action. You break it, back test it, confirm it as support before you run to the top of the range. This is an easy trade here, guys. You set your stop loss right below the inflection point. If it fails, if it stops you out, it stops you out. You move on to the next one. But these are the type of trades that you want. The other reason why this is significant, because as you guys can tell, you have that high point from back here in, clear back here in 2014. You had that first back test right there of the initial all-time high at that level. So a lot of really critical levels in here. Guys, once you break this area up here, you're going to make some serious moves. As you can tell, you break this area, you typically run to 47. You break 47, straight up, straight down. So I think Turtle Beach has a lot of upside in it. More of a position trade for me, long-term hold. I'm going to continue to hang on to it. Last but not least, this is Stratasys, I think is how you say it. This is ticker symbol SSYS. Guys, this one is pretty insane. You can see bullish shark after a big drawdown. This is the context that you want to find those harmonics in. You want to find the big run-ups, the big drawdowns at 88% retraces with a harmonic that is also at an 88% retrace. So you've got a insane, absolutely insane run-up. So you can see big run-up. It pulls all the way back to the 88.6% retrace, 90% retrace right down here, but still ends up making a higher low than the previous discernible low. And then you had another rally that is also at the 88% retrace. So you've got a 88% or 90% retrace on this one, and then you've got a 90% retrace on this one, and then you are painting that harmonic. So really, really nice, guys. As you can see, anytime it breaks this level right around in here, it's got insane upside from, $30 all the way up to $53. So this is one that I would wait because you are well off the pattern completion zone of the bullish shark. You wait until you get up here, break this level, back test it, and then you've got so much upside that it doesn't even matter that you didn't get in back here. So put this one on your list as well. I'm going to make a full video on this one where I go much further in depth because I feel like this one deserves the time and effort in talking about it. As you can see here though, guys, I mean, just look at it. Manufactured inflection point, couldn't break it. As soon as it breaks it and back tests it, it runs straight to $50 every single time. Pulls back, has a major reversal, runs up to the midpoint at 39, pulls back, can't hold, breaks it, breaks back above it, back tests it, straight to 50. Breaks it again over here, straight to 50, 53, and pulls back. So a lot of upside here, guys. If it ever breaks this $30 range, and it may never break it, you may just hang in that range forever, but I think you break that, you've got a ton of upside. So sorry, guys, again, my voice is almost gone. You can barely hear me, but thank you so much for watching. I love you all. I'm sorry I haven't been posting. I will see you guys in the next one, and I'm going to be back on it. So, come join us at the Patreon for the trade setups. I love y'all. Have a wonderful day. Peace.